Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually when we sit down at these microphones, we're tackling, these massive, complex systems.
Right, geopolitics, macroeconomics, the big picture.
The big picture, exactly. We tend to look outward.
We do. We usually have our telescopes out trying to make sense of the macro.
But today, we are flipping the instrument around. We're grabbing the microscope. We have this really fascinating document in front of us. It's a detailed first-person account titled Domestic Life, Exploring the Heart of the Home, written by an observer named Adam.
And I have to say, when I first saw the title, I thought, okay, a tour of a house. How much can we really get out of this?
Sure.
But then you start reading it and you realize this isn't a real estate listing. It's almost anthropological.
That is exactly the vibe I got. It's a deconstruction of, the fundamental unit of human existence.
Yeah.
We take our homes for granted. We walk through them on autopilot, throw our keys down, grab a drink, flop onto the bed. But Adam doesn't.
No, he breaks it all down. The functional, the social, the psychological parts of the house with this incredible stripped back clarity.
He really treats the home as a machine for living. He looks at the why and the how of every single room.
And he strips away the aesthetic choices. He's not talking about whether the curtains match the rug. He focuses entirely on utility and behavior.
So here's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to walk through Adam's blueprint. We'll analyze the architecture of relaxation in the living room, the private sanctuary of the bedroom, and then we're going to spend a good chunk of time in what I call the engine room.
The kitchen.
The kitchen, which Adam argues is the most interesting room of all.
He does, and honestly, by the end of his account, I kind of agreed with him.
Me too. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start where Adam starts, the entry point, the living room.
Right. So structurally, Adam makes a point that the living room is usually near the entrance. Now, that seems obvious. Most houses are built that way,
And
but
think about the function there.
exactly. It's the airlock.
The airlock. I like that.
It's the transition zone. You come in from the chaotic, uncontrolled outside world, the traffic, the weather, all the noise, and the first thing you hit is this curated space.
It sets the tone for everything.
It's the buffer between out there and in here.
And what's the anchor of this space? The sofa. But listen to how he describes it. He says, the sofa is for sitting.
So simple.
It's almost comically simple, but then he adds, in the evening. That little time marker is huge.
It implies the sofa isn't just furniture. It's a reward mechanism.
It's the finish line. It's the designated crash site after the labor of the day is finished. If you're on the sofa, work is done. You aren't sitting there at 10 in the morning on a Tuesday.
No, it's an evening tool.
Yeah.
And notice the objects around it. Right next to that architecture of rest, he notes the small table.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of what I'd call density of function. In a massive house, you'd have a separate room for drinks, a library for books, a pantry for snacks.
But here, the small table does it all.
He lists it explicitly. It's for drinks, it's for food, and it's for books.
It's a staging ground. It creates this little ecosystem around the sofa so you don't have to get up. Everything you need for recovery is right there.
Exactly. It maximizes the efficiency of that relaxation time. And speaking of recovery, we have to talk about the atmosphere. He mentions the TV.
Cartoons or the news.
Right, this interesting mix of pure escapism and information gathering.
So it's the connection to the outside world, but you're viewing it safely from the inside. But the detail that really stuck with me, I think this is where his observational skills just shine, is the floor.
The carpet.
Yes. He doesn't just say, there's a rug. He explains the physics of the rug. He says it makes the floor warm and comfortable.
That tactile element is so often overlooked. We always talk about how things look. Adam talks about how things feel. He's identifying that the home is a sensory shield. The outside world is cold, pavement is hard. The inside world, specifically this room, is soft and warm. It's a thermal layer of protection.
So, if the living room is that semi-public buffer zone, the place where we relax, let's move deeper into the structure. Let's go to the private quarters.
The bedroom. And this room operates on a completely different set of rules in his text. If the living room is communal, the bedroom is individual.
It's the domain of the eye.
Exactly. And it's not just for sleeping. That's the misconception. Adam breaks this room into very specific zones. You have the sleep zone, the bed, which he calls soft and comfortable. But then you have the storage zone.
The wardrobe.
I found the inventory of the wardrobe so interesting. He just lists shirts, pants, and shoes. It sounds basic, but
But it's a system of containment.
it is. The wardrobe is where you shed your public skin. You take off the uniform of the day and you file it away.
Yeah.
It's all about maintaining order. If those things were on the floor, the whole sanctuary is broken.
But here is the tension in the modern bedroom, and Adam nails it. It's not just a place to power down.
It's also a workspace.
It's a workspace. He describes a desk, and it's equipped. Books, pens, a notebook.
This is what he calls the homework dynamic. And it fundamentally changes the energy of the room, doesn't it?
Completely. It introduces a conflict.
It does. You have the bed, which says rest, and 3 feet away you have the desk, which says work. It turns the bedroom into this hybrid environment.
And he highlights a crucial piece of tech here, the lamp.
Oh, the lamp is vital in this context. He specifically says it allows him to see when it is dark.
Right.
That simple tool extends the usable hours of the day. It allows the workspace to function even when your natural rhythm says it's time to sleep. It's a tool of productivity fighting against the night.
So the bedroom becomes this place where you have to mentally switch between production at the desk and restoration in the bed.
It's a really efficient use of space, but you're right. It's a psychological balancing act. Now, speaking of labor and machinery, we have to move to the main event.
The engine room.
Yes.
Adam asserts pretty boldly that the kitchen is the most interesting room. And, looking at his breakdown, I think he has a point.
It's not just a room. It's a laboratory.
It really is. And notice the visual language he uses first. Bright and clean. White walls, lights on the ceiling.
This isn't the warm and soft vibe of the living room at all.
No.
This is clinical. It implies a need for high visibility, for hygiene. You can't hide dirt in a white room.
It signals that serious work happens here, and to do that work, you need hardware. Adam gives us a full inventory of the appliance ecosystem.
Let's go through them.
First up, the monolith, the refrigerator.
The center of preservation. Adam notes it is always cold inside.
Which seems so obvious to us now, but
historically,
yeah.
It's a miracle. It's a machine that literally stops decay. Adam lists fruits, vegetables, milk. These are perishable things.
Without the fridge, the whole modern domestic rhythm just falls apart. You'd have to shop every single day.
The fridge allows you to stockpile fuel. It conquers time.
Then you have the heat sources. And I love that Adam distinguishes between the stove and the oven. I think a lot of us just group them together as the cooker.
But he sees them as 2 different tools for 2 different jobs. The stove is for the daily grind. That's where he says they cook the rice, the vegetables, the meat. It's surface cooking. It's immediate. You have to stand there and watch it.
It's active labor.
It's active labor. But the oven.
The oven's different.
The oven is for baking. Adam associates it with bread, cakes, cookies. And notice the emotional layer he adds there. He says baking is fun and tasty.
So the stove is utility and the oven is creativity.
That's a great way to put it. The stove is about feeding the family on a Tuesday night because they're hungry. The oven is about celebration. It's alchemy. You put in dough, you get back cake.
A slower, more magical process in his eyes. He also mentions the small appliances.
The blender and the kettle. The blender is for like texture modification juice, smoothies, soup. But the kettle, we'll focus on the kettle for a second.
What stood out to you there?
The value proposition. He says it makes hot water quickly.
Speed.
Speed, exactly. In a home, efficiency matters. When you want tea or coffee, you don't want to wait 10 minutes for a pot to boil on the stove. The kettle is a convenience accelerator.
And we can't forget the storage, the cabinets.
Which he calls small boxes on the wall.
A delightful, literal way to describe them.
It is. But again, it goes back to that theme of order. Plates, cups, glasses, bowls, they all have a home. If they didn't, the kitchen would be chaos. And in a workspace like this, chaos isn't just annoying. It's dangerous.
That is a perfect segue, because Adam brings up a theme in the kitchen that we don't see anywhere else.
Danger.
The theme of danger.
It's the only room in the house where safety is a conditional state. Adam explicitly says the kitchen is a safe place only if we are careful.
That's a heavy qualifier.
It is. He flags the knives and the hot food. This acknowledges that the kitchen is inherently hazardous. It's a room full of sharp edges, fire, extreme heat.
You have to enter a different mental state. You can flop onto the sofa without thinking. You cannot just flop around in the kitchen.
You have to be alert. And that brings us to the tool set. He breaks down the big 3 utensils: knife, spoon, fork.
And his taxonomy is fascinating. It's like he's describing these for an alien.
It is. Let's look at the knife. What is it for in Adam's world?
Cutting vegetables and fruits. Exclusively.
Right, it's a tool of division. It takes a whole thing and reduces it to manageable parts. Then the spoon.
the vessel. For soup or for stirring food, it's a tool of manipulation, really. And transport for liquids.
Can't move soup with a fork. It's the only tool for that state of matter. And finally, the fork.
The anchor. For meat or rice, it pierces and holds.
So we have this high-stakes environment, fire, knives, machinery. But the kitchen isn't just a factory. It's also a social hub.
It's a co-working space. Let's look at the sociology of his kitchen. There's a clear division of labor.
It's a cooperative system. You have the mother, who Adam identifies as the primary operator of the heavy machinery. She's cooking the staples. She's transforming the raw ingredients.
And the father.
He takes on the role of sanitation and restoration. He helps wash the dishes, clean the kitchen. It's a really important dynamic. One person creates the meal and the mess.
And the other restores the order. It's a balanced equation.
It is. And where does Adam fit in? He's not just a bystander.
No, he's the apprentice, the sous chef. He cuts vegetables, he stirs, he sets the table. And this is crucial. He describes this cooperation as fun and nice.
It turns labor into a bonding ritual.
Exactly. If you were doing it alone, it's just a chore. But doing it with his parents, it becomes a social event. They're building something together.
And there's a distinction in where they eat. He mentions a dining room with a big table, but he seems to prefer the kitchen table.
The kitchen table is intimate, it's informal, he uses it for breakfast and snacks.
And he says that eating there allows for conversation. We can sit and talk while we eat.
It feels less performative than the dining room, doesn't it? The dining room is for the event of dinner. The kitchen table is for the reality of life.
It's where the family connects before the day starts. You're eating right where the food was made. The barrier between production and consumption is gone.
Let's talk about that start of the day. Adam outlines a very specific nutritional philosophy. Food gives us energy and health.
He treats food as fuel. Look at his breakfast. Eggs, which he calls healthy toast, and milk. And he specifically notes milk is good for bones.
He's connecting the food directly to the biological benefit. He understands input determines output.
Yeah, and he lists a pretty healthy inventory of produce, too. Apples, bananas, carrots, tomatoes. It's a balanced approach. He sees the kitchen as the gas station for the human body.
Now, we've covered the dry rooms, the cooking room, but there is one other wet room Adam touches on, and it plays a key role in the daily cycle.
The bathroom. He doesn't spend a ton of time here, but the distinction he makes is vital. He focuses on the morning shower.
Fresh and ready.
Right. It's not a relaxing evening bath. The morning shower is a tool for activation. It's hydrotherapy to wake up the system and prep the body for the public world. It's the final step in the morning launch sequence.
And then, stepping outside the four walls entirely, we have the garden.
The extension of the home. Flowers, grass, a small tree. But functionally, what is it? It's the lung of the house.
Fresh air and alfresco dining.
Yes, taking the food from the kitchen and eating it outside. It breaks the routine. It's the one place where the controlled domestic sphere interacts directly with uncontrolled nature. It's where the walls disappear.
Speaking of nature, there's this beautiful concept Adam brings up near the end. He describes the house as being alive.
I loved this part. It might be my favorite observation in the whole thing.
It's not just visual, it's auditory. The house has a voice.
The sensory home. He lists the sounds, the water running in the sink, the food sizzling on the stove.
And the hum of the refrigerator.
The hum of the refrigerator. It's such a specific low-level sound. Most of it just tune it out.
We do. But Adam calls these sounds normal and says they make the kitchen feel alive. It's the heartbeat of the home.
Think about it. If the house were perfectly silent, it wouldn't feel like a home. It would feel like a museum or a tomb.
That's a haunting thought.
Those mechanical and human noises, the sizzling, the humming, the splashing, they're the signal that life is happening. The fridge humming is literally the sound of the house working for you.
That is such a cool way to look at it. We usually try to eliminate noise. But he's finding comfort in the machine noise.
It's the sound of continuity. As long as the fridge is humming, the center holds.
So we've walked through the rooms, we've checked the appliances, analyzed the safety protocols, met the family. What does this all mean? What is Adam really telling us about domestic life?
I think Adam is synthesizing a philosophy of responsibility.
Yeah.
He says explicitly that the house teaches us responsibility. You have to keep it clean. You have to put things in their place.
He mentions that feeling of pride, right?
Yes. When he cleans his room or helps in the kitchen, he feels proud. And that, for me, is the key takeaway. The house isn't just a container for people. It's not a hotel you check into. It's a reciprocal relationship.
A reciprocal relationship.
You take care of the house cleaning, the white walls, washing the dishes, and in return, the house takes care of you. It provides safety. It provides the warm carpet for your feet. It provides the cold milk for your bones. It provides the soft bed for your rest.
That's a powerful thought. It's a cycle of care. You maintain the machine, and the machine maintains you.
And the kitchen is the hub of that cycle. That's why he calls it the heart. It's where raw materials are transformed into energy and where the family unit reinforces its bonds by working together.
It really makes you look at your own toaster or your own kitchen sink a little differently. It's not just a chore to wipe them down.
It's part of keeping the machine of your life running. Absolutely. It's about ownership in the emotional sense. Adam owns his space not because he bought it, but because he scrubs the dishes. He owns it because he cuts the vegetables.
That effort creates the sense of home.
You can't buy that feeling. You have to work for it.
Well, that is something to think about the next time you're dreading the washing up. It's not just cleaning, it's home building.
Exactly. It changes the framework completely.
On that note, I think we are going to wrap up this deep dive. We've gone from the front door to the back garden, and I hope next time you walk into your kitchen, you take a second to appreciate the white walls, the sharp knives, and the hum of that refrigerator.
And maybe bake a cake. Adam says it's fun.
It is fun and tasty. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.